Hi, this is Mark Flores, mobile editor at techradar.com, and I've got here with me the LG Lucid 3 for Verizon. As the name suggests, this is the third Lucid. It's a budget smartphone for Verizon users, and it's free on contract, actually. Usually with budget phones, you have to make a lot of sacrifices in terms of features, but the Lucid 3 isn't so bad. It's running Android 4.4 KitKat, which is surprising. Normally budget phones run older versions of Android, and so you kind of feel left in the dust when it comes to newer apps that support the latest versions of Android. It's got a 960 by 540 display, so it's not going to be the sharpest display, but it's good enough at normal viewing distances. It kind of makes you feel like you've got a smartphone from 2010. Over on the back, there's a 5 megapixel camera with LED flash. It does record 1080p video at 30 frames per second. As you can see here, it's already beginning to collect a lot of fingerprints, even though I just wiped it off. It's a very slippery and slick phone. In fact, I've already dropped it 3 or 4 times since I've been reviewing it, and I almost never drop phones. The front-facing camera is a 0.3 megapixel VGA camera. You can use it for self-portraits or video calls. Down below, we've got the back, home, and menu buttons, just like most Android phones have. And the home button will actually have a colored glow around it whenever you have notifications or if your battery is running low. Down below, we have a micro USB port for charging and a microphone. Over on the side here, we've got a volume rocker, and on this side, we have a power button. Again, this is my favorite place to have power buttons on phones that are pretty big, and this doesn't feel very large compared to the HTC One or Samsung Galaxy S5 or the LG G Pro 2, for example, but it is 4.7 inches, so it's a good size. It's not a small smartphone by any means. It only comes with 8 gigabytes of storage. The OS takes up quite a bit of that, so when you buy the phone, you're not going to have much space for apps and photos and videos, so you might want to buy a micro SD card. This will support up to 64 gigabyte micro SD cards. The back panel is removable, so you can swap out batteries. On the back here, we've got a 2440 milliamp hour battery, which is actually a pretty good capacity, especially for a 960 by 540 display. However, I found that the phone has been dying overnight, and I have normal settings for push notifications, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, email, just like any other smartphone I test, but this one seems to be dying a little quicker for some reason, and I'm not sure why. Although the Lucid 3 only has a 5 megapixel camera, the camera app itself gives you a lot of shooting options. You won't have as many options as you would on the G2 or the G Pro 2, but you do have control over focus. You have tap to focus or manual focus. You can choose your ISO, white balance. You can add color effects, shoot in HDR, panorama, take burst shots for action, and a whole other set of effects. So that was a look at the LG Lucid 3 from Verizon. It's free on contract, which is a great deal. I'm Mark Flores. For more news and reviews, visit techradar.com.